My name is Jeremiah Sullivan, and I'm a senior at Stuart Hall High School. Stuart Hall High School is located in San Francisco, California. It is an institution that teaches all boys and stresses community and brotherhood throughout the whole school. Stuart Hall consists of a diverse community that has an emphasis on doing service and helping those who aren't as fortunate as us. Stuart Hall is part of a network of Sacred Heart schools, which was founded by Madeleine Sophie Barrault. Madeleine Sophie Barrault was born in Yonny, France on December 12, 1779, and died in Paris, France on May 25, 1865. In 1800, she founded the Society of the Sacred Heart. These schools were created to better education for women, but 200 years later, Stuart Hall High School was created to educate males, and my school is the first all-boys school in the Sacred Heart tradition. Saint Rose Philippine Duchesne was born in Grenoble, France on August 29, 1769, and died in St. Charles, Missouri on December 18, 1852. Duchesne was the first to bring the society to North America, and in 1818, she established a school in St. Charles, Missouri, the first outside of France. Finally, Janet Erskine Stewart, who was Superior General from 1911 to 1914, continued the strong work standards set by her predecessors and continued to spread her visions of peace and love to all the schools of the Sacred Heart. She also happens to be the namesake of our school, Stuart Hall High School. Goal 3 states that schools of the Sacred Heart commit themselves to educate to a social awareness which impels to action. Out of all the goals, Goal 3 sticks with me because it makes me aware of my surroundings. It motivates me to do service and have an impact on people's lives. In our multicultural world, the school prepares and inspires students to be active, informed, and responsible citizens locally, nationally, and globally. This philosophy is instilled in me, so I will do whatever necessary in order to make a difference in the world. In 7th grade, I was on my way to do service at Western Addition Senior Center in San Francisco, and I see an elderly woman struggling to bring her groceries into the facility with no help. She was dropping some of her groceries, but people weren't aware of their surroundings and didn't help this woman that was in obvious need. This is when I stepped in and picked up the groceries she dropped and grabbed as many bags as I could to make her task less difficult. This connects to Goal 3 because I was aware of the problem she was having, and I took action by assisting her into Western Addition safely and stress-free. I thought about one of Byron's quotes from his 10 building blocks of social teaching. We believe people have a right and a duty to participate in society, seeking together the common good and well-being of all, especially the poor and vulnerable. In order to have a society that promotes justice, everyone must help one another, no matter how difficult the task is. Another quote that came to mind was from Houston Smith, and it stated, "Yet one thing is common to them all, the conviction that every human being, simply by virtue of his or her humanity, is a child of God, and therefore in possession of rights that even kings must respect." Everyone, no matter what gender or status in society, deserves respect. God has made this world for all of us to strive in, and we can't leave anyone behind in this journey. So we have to help one another. Lastly, in John 23's writing, Pachamenteris states that, "But first, we must speak of man's rights. Man has the right to live, he has a right to bodily integrity, and to the means necessary for the proper development of life, particularly food, clothing, shelter, medical care, rest, and finally, the necessary social services. In consequence, he has the right to be looked after in the event of ill health, disability stemming from his work, widowhood, old age, enforced unemployment, or whatever through no fault of his own is deprived of the means of livelihood. We can't leave anyone behind, and everyone deserves equal opportunity. Even if one may not deserve it, we must come together and help each other, especially those in need." Thank you.